Hello, and welcome to Piano Player Pro, your favourite classical tunes arranged for piano. Today we're going to be playing Flight of the Bumblebee by Rimsky-Korsakov. Rimsky-Korsakov was one of a famous group of 19th century Russian composers called the Mighty Handful, which also included the likes of Borodin and Mussorgsky. This is by far Rimsky-Korsakov's most famous tune. It was originally written as an orchestral interlude from his opera The Tale of the Tsar Sultan, during which the Tsar's son, Prince Gvidon, is turned into a bumblebee by a magical swan so that he can be reunited with his father, who believes him to be dead. It was famously transcribed for piano by fellow Russian composer Rachmaninoff, and since then, due to its sheer speed and complexity, virtuoso players of probably every instrument have attempted to play it, usually as fast as possible, although the best performances are never just about speed alone. If you haven't already, then follow the link below and head over to the website pianoplayerpro.com, where you can find the sheet music, which is free to download, and while you're there, make sure you check out the other pieces that you can learn. I'm regularly adding new pieces and content, so if you find this video helpful, then please hit the subscribe button below. In total, there are 4 piano arrangements of Flight of the Bumblebee for you to choose from, starting with level 1 for just the right hand and getting progressively more difficult all the way up to level 4. This video is for the level 2 version, but feel free to take a look at the others. So we're going to start by playing through the whole piece once, and then we're going to go back and look at it section by section. So here we are with Flight of the Bumblebee. Okay, so quite a tricky piece, lots and lots of notes to learn. One thing that's really going to help you learning this piece is being really careful about which fingers you use. So thinking carefully about which fingers you put where, and then making sure that you always use the same fingers. So I've put suggestions in for you. That's what the little numbers are. They represent your fingers. But you can change them if, different people have different hands. So you can change them to something that's more comfortable, but try and always do the same thing and maybe write in the fingers that you use if that's helpful. And the other thing that's really going to make a difference is practicing it slowly. Obviously you want to play it nice and quick because it's quite a kind of fast, impressive piece, but the way to play it quick is by practicing really, really slowly when you're getting going, and then drill it really slowly until it goes kind of in, and then once you've learned it, it's much easier then to speed up. So let's go back to the introduction, which is the A section. The left hand doesn't have a lot to do, it's just got an E, and then an E here. So we'll come back to the A section, the left hand in a minute. Let's look at the right hand. Now it starts very high up. I've actually shifted the keyboard along for this piece because so much of it happens up here at the top of the keyboard. So this is middle C. Here's C above middle C. Here's C above the stave. So your very first note is all the way up here, which is the E. Okay. And you're going to do those notes, the E and then the D sharp. And you're going to do that pattern. Do it 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back to the E to stop. And it's a nice kind of bounce off that note. Okay, and once you've done that there, you do the same thing an octave lower. So you just bring your whole hand down, you've got a quaver rest. So it's not a lot of time. Bounce down again, and then this time, bars 5 and 6, you've got a shorter version. So instead of doing 6, you just do 2, and then the final E, 1, 2, stop, 1, 2, stop. And that's the introduction. So 6, 5, 6, stop, another 6, 5, 6, stop, then 2s, 1, 2, stop, 1, 2, stop. And then we're ready to start the B section, which is kind of like where the main tune starts. As I said, the left-hand part is just this E, so you're in the treble clef, and then it jumps down to the bass clef where you'd normally expect to find it. So the first note is there, the second note is there. You might want to use the thumb there, the 5 there, just so you don't have to jump down. So here we go, together. And then the left hand does nothing here, so it's got time to get ready for the B section. ready to start there. Okay, so that's how the whole A section goes all the way through. Let's just hear that once more. Okay, so that's the A section. Then the B section, which as I said is where the main tune starts, that's using what we call the chromatic scale a lot. So that's when you use every note in or on the keyboard. So the major scale is C. Okay, you've got the minor scale, using a couple of the black notes there for C minor. The chromatic scale, which is this piece is based on, uses all the notes. So when you look at it, you're often doing this kind of pattern where you're going up using all these notes. And the general way of doing that, and which might help you with this piece, is to start on the thumb, and then you put your middle finger on the C sharp or on the black note. So thumb on the white note, middle finger on the black note. So thumb, three, thumb, three, thumb. When you get to here and you've got two white notes in a row, that's where you use the two. And then back up to the three, thumb, three, thumb, three, thumb, two, three. And that pattern is the kind of classic way of playing the chromatic scale. And then on the way down, you do the same thing. So that will help you a little bit with this piece, and particularly on the level 3 and 4 versions, you use that chromatic scale quite a lot more. Here you use it a little bit, so it's worth having a look at. And the place you mainly use it is at the beginning of this section here, because you're going to go from E down all the black notes to C, and I'm suggesting for that reason you go thumb, three, thumb, and then you go back up. So down, and then back up, and then you repeat that again, down, and you actually do that down and up 4 times. So 1, 2, 3 and up, 4 and up. Okay, so that's the beginning of the B section, and then you do a similar thing, but you shorten it by, instead of going all the way down to the C, you're just going to go down to the D, and you're kind of pivoting really on that black note in the middle, the D sharp, and you do that 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you do another whole one where you go all the way down, and then just 3 short E's to finish with. So the whole pattern you do 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. The shortened version 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole version once more, and then E 3 times to finish. So just listen to that once more. Then the shortened pattern, all the way down, and then finish there. Okay, so that's how the right hand goes for the B section. The left hand is just going to play the single note, the A, and it repeats it every time basically you get back to the E. So when you play the E with the right hand, you're also going to play the A with the left hand. Okay, so that's how they fit together. So I'm not actually going to practice the left hand separately because it makes more sense just putting it together. So we start here, so every time I play that note, that's when that note comes in. So together, together, then wait, together, wait, together, wait. Now, because this pattern gets shorter, it means we're coming back to the E more often, so the left hand's got a little bit more to do. Again, again, again. So the left hand's effectively got twice as quick because the pattern is half the length. So then you get another whole one, so a bigger gap, and then where this goes E, 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 this goes A, A, A. So those notes are just paired all the way through this section. So let's just watch that again. And that's how those two parts fit together. Okay. When you get to the C section, the good news is it's very similar to the A section. Okay, so the A section was doing this. The C section does the same thing, but starting on A. So again, it's 1, 3, 1, 3, 1 down to the F, and then back up. So that's your pattern, that chromatic scale. You do it a second time, a third time, back up, a fourth time, and then you've guessed it, it's exactly the same pattern. You do the shortened version 4 times, all the way down and up again, and then A to finish with. So it's an exact repeat of what you did down here, but you just do it on these notes, okay? All the way down and A to finish. And the left hand does exactly what it did before. It was playing an A all the way through. Now it moves up, so as the right hand moves up, the left hand also moves up, and it's going to do the same thing but with a D. Okay, so I'm just going to play you the B and the C section together so you can see how they fit. Here we go from the B section. 4 of those, 1, 2, 4 shorter ones, a longer one again, then finishing there, move up. And that's how that fits together. So it's quite difficult to get it so it sounds smooth. That's the main challenge, so it doesn't sound... So just practice that really slowly, dig into the keys to get that as smooth as you can. That's what you're aiming for. Then the B section, sorry, not the B section, the D section, that starts like this. So you've just finished here, and then both, I call it the B section because both notes move to B. So you've got a B here in the right hand and a B here in the left hand, and you play them together, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to suggest you play a thumb there, because then what you do with the right hand is you move up, and then you play the B flat and the C like that, which creates a bit of a clash. It's not a particularly pleasant sound, but this piece is more about creating an effect than creating a nice tune. So it's very good at that. So you get those 4 notes, then these 4 notes. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you do that pattern again. Then you get the same thing, but instead of doing each one 4 times, you just do it twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you get another 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another 3 of these. Okay, so it's about counting, but you see there is a kind of logic to it. You get 4, 4, 4, 4, 2s, 2s. Then you just extend it with another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, stop. Okay, which is the same rhythm that you stop all the other sections with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, stop. Okay, so the whole D section goes like this. 2s. Another 4, 1, 2, stop. And then for the E section, you just move those fingers, and that's the 2 there probably, and then the thumb there, and you do exactly the same thing. So in the same way that the B section was the same version as the C section, but just shifted up, the same is true of D and E. So you move up to here, 4 with this on E and this is on high E now, and then you've got 2 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4, another 4, same thing with 2s, then another 4 of these F and E flat, okay, and then to finish with, you've got this last bar, E going up to A, and then a low A here, okay, and we'll look at the last bar in a minute. Let's just look at the rest of the section so we get those patterns, and then we'll just practice the last bar because it's quite critical you get that right. So here's the E section, 4 of these, then 2s, 2s, another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to finish with, you're just going to go E, E, A, and then there's a kind of what's called a button, just a single very short note at the end there, and you'll notice that actually it gets very, very quiet at the end, so it builds up quite angrily. And then it's very quiet at the end. Okay, so that's how the E section goes, and each of the sections goes individually. Let's put the whole thing through once more. I'm going to play it a little bit quicker. Also, just notice the dynamics. The dynamics are really important in this piece. So it starts loud, okay, and then it gets a bit quieter. And then by the time you start the main tune in the B section, it's actually pianissimo, very quiet. Okay, it builds up a little bit in the C section, a bit louder. And then in the D section, you've got these swells, so it gets louder for a bar, then quieter for a bar. Okay, so and then when the pattern shortens, the swell shorten, louder, softer, louder, softer. Okay, so look out for the dynamics, and then particularly, as I said at the end, notice it goes very, very quiet. You're expecting it to be a big loud finish, but actually it does the opposite of what you expect. So here is the whole thing all the way through. Off we go. So that was the level 2 version of Rimsky-Korsakov's Flight of the Bumblebee. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, then please hit the subscribe button below, as there's new pieces for you to learn coming out all the time. And remember, the music for all of them is free to download from the website pianoplayerpro.com. If you've got any questions or requests for future pieces, then do get in touch via the comments section below. Have a great day then, and happy practicing.